When my neighbor's kid turned into a zombie, I knew something was wrong. But what do you do when no one believes you? It all started with Billie Eilish's music. I couldn't take it anymore. I was getting ready to go to bed one night when suddenly I heard it again. That song that sounded like nails on a chalkboard. It was coming from next door. I could hear the girl singing, "I want to be your vampire. I want to live inside of you." It was 10:30 at night. The song ended and my neighbor yelled, "Emma, turn that down. Your mother and I are trying to sleep." The next day, I decided to confront her parents. They were in their yard, and I told them about the noise. "Oh, honey, you just let it go," said the mother. "She's just a kid. You can't expect her to be quiet all the time." Then they went back inside and closed the windows. One day later, Emma came out of the house and waved at me. "Hi," she called out. I waved back. She skipped over to me and asked if I wanted to play outside. "No, thank you," I replied. "It's too cold. Maybe tomorrow." "Okay, but you better hurry up," she said. "My dad says that soon I won't be living here anymore." I nodded, unsure of what she meant. A few days later, she asked me again, but I refused. "You won't be living here anymore. What does that mean?" I asked. Emma looked down. "I don't know. My dad says we have to move because you're making too much noise. You make him angry. He says he can't take it anymore." "But I haven't made any noise," I said. "He's lying." Emma looked up and said, "Maybe, but it doesn't matter. We have to move." Then she went back home. The following afternoon, I heard hammering coming from inside the house. A moving van arrived, and Emma stood next to her father while he talked to my neighbor. Her mother was inside the house packing stuff. Soon after, they had loaded all their things into the moving van, and Emma's dad walked toward me. "As you can see, you were right," he said. "She is making a lot of noise. I hope you're happy now." He then got into the van, and they drove away. That evening, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Emma, and how sad she looked when her father told her they had to move. When it was light outside, I walked over to their house and knocked on the door, but no one answered. I tried the doorknob, and it was unlocked. I walked inside and saw that everything was gone. It looked like a whirlwind had swept through the house and sucked away every piece of furniture. The only thing that was left was this drawing of a girl who seemed to be sucking the life out of a boy. Underneath it, Emma had written, "Me and Billie Eilish." I quickly ran out of the house. It wasn't normal for people to move in the middle of the night. I thought they might have been up to something serious. I told my mom I was worried about Emma and asked if we could go look for her, but she didn't want to. "Your neighbor's problems are not our problems. You can't just barge into someone's house without permission," she said. But I didn't barge in. The door was unlocked, I insisted. Mom sighed, knowing she wouldn't change my mind, so she came with me. We went over to the house and started looking around. I felt scared walking through the silent house. Suddenly, Mom stopped. "Look," she whispered. On the floor was a book that seemed to be filled with nothing but lyrics. I flipped through the pages and found songs like, "I'm Too Sexy," "Baby One More Time," and "I Want to Be Your Vampire." Next to the last page, there was a note that said, "If you're reading this, please call 911. On the next page, it continued, "Emma has bitten me. She is a vampire." I screamed. "Mom, this is crazy." And I was right. This was crazy. But then, why did their house look like a whirlwind had swept through it? Why did Emma's dad look so angry? And why did he say that Emma had made him move? Was his wife telling the truth? Or was Emma? I called 911 and reported that my neighbors were missing and that I thought they had been attacked by their daughter. "Is this a joke?" asked the operator. "Someone's daughter bit you?" I explained what I had seen, and the operator finally sent some police officers over to check the house. After the police had gone, Mom and I went back home. I told her that I would never believe this story, but then we received a phone call. It was from the police station. They said that they hadn't found anything suspicious. "So you really think that your neighbor is a vampire?" asked the police officer. "Maybe," I replied. "Well, if you find out anything else, let us know." And with that, he hung up. And Mom and I were sitting on the couch when suddenly the TV turned itself on. The volume was very high, and a music video of Billie Eilish's "I Wanna Be Your Vampire" played on the screen. Just then, I saw Emma standing in front of our house. She was older than the last time I had seen her, and she was holding a stake in her hand. She looked at me and smiled. I wanted to scream, but no sound came out of my mouth. Then she started walking toward me. I felt paralyzed with fear. Mom grabbed my hand and pulled me behind her. "Don't worry, honey," she whispered. "I will protect you." And I believed her. But then suddenly, Emma vanished. When I dared to look away for a moment, she appeared right in front of us. "Where did you come from?" I asked. "I've been here the whole time," she replied. "What are you talking about?" Then she took a step closer. "This house is mine now. This town is mine. And soon you'll be mine." I looked into her eyes and realized she wasn't kidding. She really was a vampire. But then something strange happened. She started to shake and then fall apart. As I watched in horror, she turned into dust. The wind blew it all away and she vanished. Mom and I looked at each other. "I thought I was losing my mind," I said. "Neither of us were losing our minds," Mom replied. "You were right. She was a vampire." But then she added, "But where did she get her powers from? Maybe she didn't even have any." The next morning, I went over to Emma's house again. The police had put a notice on the door saying that the house was being watched. So I waited until it got dark. I slipped inside unnoticed and began searching the house. In the bedroom, I found a diary. Inside it, I read, "Today in school, I met the most amazing girl. Her name is Billie Eilish. She is my best friend now. She taught me how to do the splits and showed me her beautiful scars." I continued reading. "Billie and I sneaked into the woods today. She showed me a dead bird that had been lying in the sun for a long time. She ripped its head off and drank its blood. She says she's thirsty all the time. Sometimes she drinks animal blood, but it doesn't taste good enough. I think I will try drinking human blood, too." And underneath it, Emma had drawn a picture of herself, biting a boy on the neck. The last entry said, "Today, Billie and I drank Dad's blood. He was sleeping in his bed, but then we woke him up. He screamed so loud. I think he knew what was happening. Billie says that now I am her apprentice. She says that soon I will be strong enough to drink human blood without getting caught." The final page was empty, except for a single sentence. "Dad is gone." Now it all made sense. Of course, Emma's power came from the blood she had drunk. And when she became strong enough to attack humans, she had killed her own father. But then, why did she say that her father had made her move? I didn't understand it, but then I found something else. In the closet, there was a big bag full of clothes. I opened it and found a little diary. It belonged to Emma's mother. I opened it and began reading. Emma has become friends with Billie Eilish. I think she likes her too much. She spends all her time with that girl. I am worried. I read on. Emma woke up in the middle of the night and said she was thirsty. I went and brought her a glass of water, but she didn't want it. She wanted blood. I knew what she was talking about, but I pretended I didn't. I told her that she could drink my blood if she wanted to. I gave her a glass of it, but I think she didn't like the taste. She threw up. I continued reading. Emma is getting stronger every day. She needs more and more blood. I can feel that she is becoming a monster. I am afraid. And then under the last entry, it said, she killed her father. I should kill her before she kills me. I stared at the last page. Emma's mother had known what she was dealing with, and she must have known that killing Emma would be the only option. But I also realized that she hadn't written anything about killing Emma in this diary. She had stopped writing altogether. I turned the page and found a letter that said, "I have handed Emma over to the authorities. I hope that they can help her, that they can save her from becoming a real monster. She is dangerous, but she is also my flesh and blood. I love her, but I am scared." Then below it, the mother had written, "I will be watching from afar." It suddenly dawned on me. Emma's mother hadn't given her up to the authorities. She had handed her over to Billie Eilish's family, and so Emma was safe with them, at least for now. But I knew that sooner or later she would return, and when she did, I would have to stop her. Thanks for watching. If you liked the story, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel.